that? Never mind that. What was that?
Hi!
Who are you?
BARFF!
Not in here, mister. This is a Mercedes.
Nah, that's my name. BARFF!
BARFF? What are you?
And here we go. BARFF Fantasy Football Podcast, Season 3, Episode 9. I'm the commish here in the studio with the co-host of the show and owner of Born to Run. Walt's here tonight. Walt, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, bro?
Good. I'm just waiting for the texts that indicate that we have some sort of technical glitch, but I'm hoping that we do not.
I know.
Because we have a lot to get to.
We do. We do.
We have a special guest in the
Hey,
studio. It is Denver the dog.
Hi, Denver.
He's going to send shrill barks into the system. So, Denver, you could
Here we go,
knock
everybody.
that off. We're going to try to bribe him.
There we go.
Yeah, this is, no pets should be allowed in the studio. This is what we do in the BARFF studio.
The show must go on.
The
as they
show
say.
must go on.
Yep.
We have to deal with these things. Denver, get down. And we're going to talk about week 8. This is episode 9. What a great week of games.
Yep.
Walt, I threw some things into the text, the text stream, that there were some great games going on, and boy, some of these games with a lot of implications came out close this week. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, we can. I mean, we might as well start with my game. It was pretty straightforward. Not a lot of drama at all, which was kind of nice in a weird way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, when the game's kind of over and there's really no hope, it's like it makes it for me a lot easier to live with than a close one that it's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, Huey Lewis in the news in this game takes on Born to Run and takes out Born to Run 151 to 115, tied for second place in points for is Huey Lewis in the news. And both teams are now at 5-3.
Yeah.
Well, I believe, and I don't have the standings in front of me, this might be 4 in a row for Huey Lewis in the news. This was a team that we were looking at early on as concern, and now they are coming on exactly when you want them to.
Yeah, I mean, he's rounded out, a pretty good starting lineup. And I think that's what it's going to come down to, though. I mean, you got all these teams with good starting lineups. But once some of these injuries maybe pile up, I mean, already Cooper Kupp, I think he's going to play, but, out there in junk time, and he hurts his ankle.
Right.
So that could have been catastrophic. Luckily, It doesn't sound like it.
I think he's going to play too, but
Yep.
it's hard to tell.
Yep.
It's hard to know what's going to happen. So
those are the things that could turn. I mean, I lost Jamar Chase. That was rough. I thought Gallup would have probably did more than what he did, but he was... Yeah.
Gallup was the topic of many a fantasy football pundit over the last week. Did not perform where people had thought that he was going to on the big comeback. You got Justin Jefferson back this week, and he puts up 15 points.
Yeah, pedestrian. Nothing.
Pedestrian.
Not what I expect out of him.
Yeah.
So this is the classic new week. Turn the page. We focus on the opponent this week.
Yeah. Yep. On the other side of the ball, Huey Lewis gets a rare 21 points for Tom Brady, hit his projection, and you're happy with it. But Alvin Kamara, boom, 42 points, amazing.
That was amazing.
Yeah. And
but I was gonna say I'd be worried about Brady. I watched the game. 14 of those points I think were on the last 2 drives, complete junk time. Yeah. And so
there's a lot going on in Tampa Bay, and not a lot of it's good.
That's right.
Deonta Foreman is the surprise of the week, probably the leader. We can talk about Alvin Kamara. You're going to expect him to blow up from time to time, but Deonta Foreman, in this void created by Christian McCaffrey, goes for 32 points in Chuba Hubbard's absence. Is this something you see as sustainable moving forward?
He's going to get the carries. I guess I have to probably look at the schedule. I don't know what he has for a schedule, but I mean, the volume's certainly going to be there. But, Christian McCaffrey, he was in that same offense.
Yeah.
He was limited at times, but a different quarterback. Who knows? I mean, they got tough matchup this week, Cincinnati. And then I'm looking later in the season, though, it's pretty easy schedule. So, hey,
Could be interesting.
Could be interesting.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But Huey Lewis and the News certainly trending in the right direction
For sure.
as they move to 5-3 right now. Where do you want to go now?
Well, let's celebrate the Knuckleheads' big victory.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to even celebrate. Knuckleheads take on worst team ever and win again, tied for second place in points for 151 this week. Worst team ever comes up with 98. And Walt, worst team ever. Let's take me out of the mix for right now. Having the opportunity to go 4-4, 4 wins puts you in a great position. 3 wins is not great right now.
No, it's not, and his fortunes have taken a turn for the worse. From what I hear, Jonathan Taylor was limited at practice, so I guess he re-injured that ankle.
Well, he doesn't have to worry about Naheem Hines breathing down his neck because clearly, unbeknownst to the show, Naheem Hines was a wanted commodity in the NFL.
Yeah, everybody wanted him, which is amazing. In BARFF, nobody wants him. In the real NFL, everybody wanted him.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So it was amazing.
It's like Sony Michel last year. We crapping all over him, and then when he gets his opportunity, he blows up. Yeah.
So he has Deion Jackson on the bench this week, so I don't know if he's going to get it over. Because they got Zach Moss part of that trade, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to complain because I'm playing him this week. So, but that's a tough blow, again, to lose your number one.
It proves to me. Jordan brought up the history, and I looked at it, and it's depressing for me. 2 championships is nice, but my overall record is not what it could be. But clearly, this week has proven to me that I don't know very much about fantasy football insofar as that. Is Naeem Hines that much better than Zach Moss? I would have said that's a wash. Like you're making that trade for no reason.
Exactly. So I agree. And on the upside, DK somehow is, like I said, he's Superman.
Yeah, he came back. I didn't start him. I couldn't start him
no doubt.
in the time.
Yep.
I had picked up Slayton to kind of slide in, and then I just decided I figured this would be a showcase for Melvin Gordon. So they're going to trade him, so they want to show, unlike what the Rams are doing. Let's not even talk about that right now. But I thought they would showcase Melvin Gordon, and he does. They basically split the first half Melvin Gordon, second half what they did is Murray for you. But then they don't trade him. Yeah. So I don't know what to do with him going forward.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to start him on a consistent basis. But you're in nice shape with Robinson gone in Jacksonville. So,
ETN looks amazing.
ETN looks good,
which I had hoped for.
And Fournette's Fournette. I mean, he catches the ball, he runs. So
that line is just so disgusting.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
again. I think the resurgence of DJ Moore, that looks. PJ Walker is helping in him.
Yeah, if I had known that I needed PJ Walker at the beginning of the year, I would have been just waiting rather than crying so much. But DJ Moore, he gave me his best week of the season, his second good week out of 8, so that's not great, but it was a 4th round draft pick.
Yeah,
so
and
I'm happy.
The change, maybe it's the change of the quarterbacks. He's going to look for him. So I'd say your stock is on the rise a little. We'll see what this week looks like.
We'll see. Watson just thinks I'm disgusting, and Watson is correct. Where do you want to go now?
Let's talk about the pant loads.
So
a nice rebound game.
Yes. Sody Pant Loads. This is another team. I was looking at that history. Sody Pant Loads has never not made the playoffs.
Wow, I didn't look at that. Really?
14 years, 14 playoff appearances. This week they're in precarious situation. We were talking about them last week having a losing record, being an anomaly. This week they rise up with a 136-113 victory over the Springfield Rifles. Strong team in the Rifle. Both teams go to 4-4. What was the story of the game this week?
I think he had his whole team back. When you lose Stephon Diggs on a bye and then you get him back in, I mean he's automatic. He's 18 points again, and he's. Josh Allen's always looking at him. He had Dalvin Cook back, 26.
Yeah.
Dameon Pierce looks like he might be legit, so that's nice.
Dameon Pierce is a good piece to have. We were talking about him as I believe it was Denver Soaring Eagles that picked him up, and I thought that was the pickup of the year off the waiver wire, and he looks really good. And he had Travis Kelce on the bye, and he still manages to put up this many points. That's good things moving forward.
Yeah, it is. But again, see, this is going to be a season of attrition because I've been looking at everybody's benches to see how they're going to do if they suffer a blow. I look at his. Zeke is hurt.
Yeah.
And the rest of that, I mean, I don't know. It looks like my bench. There ain't a lot going on there for sure.
There's not. Damian Harris is second fiddle to Ramondre Stevenson. Alec Pierce is out of the mix. Wan'Dale Robinson, he could be the one in that offense as weeks go on. Darnell Mooney could have been a start this week, to be honest, Darnell Mooney, but they seem to be riding Cortland Sutton, which I agree with, but they're feeling that pain. Cortland Sutton may be. I don't want to go so far as to mention like Julio Jones, but he's a roller coaster to have in your roster.
I mean, to go from a decent week to 2 points, you can't have that. Not for where he was picked and what you put in him in. It just that's a killer. That's a killer. But the bad loads, you look at that starting lineup. It's very solid. It's going to be there right at the end in the mix. Absolutely. I'm sure of that. And same goes for the Rifle.
The Rifle had 3 players on the bye this week, and they still have a strong week. They met an opponent that they couldn't take out. They got, Devin Singletary only went for 8, which is, don't worry, Zach Moss is gone now. So, but he's going to have to contend with, God, we just talked about him, who just went to Buffalo.
Nyheim Hines, of course. Yes, he's the guy.
I would like to say Devin Singletary is going to blow up because Zach Moss is gone, but who knows what they're going to do with Nyheim Hines?
You never know.
They traded for him, so I think they have to make time for him.
Right, and they gave up a decent amount to get him. I saw this crazy stat. Since 2018. He has the 5th most receiving yards for a running back since 2018. Isn't that unbelievable?
Just can't. This is why people don't come here for their DFS and their money making.
I know.
I don't know. Nyheim Hines just doesn't hit my radar as being that guy.
I mean, I had him last year. Every time I started him, he did nothing. So I don't know where he got all those yards from.
Right. Right. The Rifle still has Taysom Hill in at tight end. There are, they've got one of the best tight ends in the coming into draft time, and Darren Waller, who's on IR for them. So they got to figure that position out, and I think that they're looking good. 4-4 right now. That's a good position to be in.
I will say, and I got to confirm it on the way here. I was listening to NFL radio. They said Derrick Henry had something foot related going on. So we're gonna have to check that out. Now, if that's a reoccurrence of a foot injury again.
Yeah, what a good week he had. He has looked strong.
Now I don't know if you can come back from that kind of. If he's out, that's a huge blow.
That would be a blow for the Rifle, but we'll see what happens with them. I did not check any practice reports today. I am slacking in my job, and so I don't know what's going on exactly with Derrick Henry or Darren Waller for that matter. So we'll have to check back in over the weekend and see how these games turn out.
Yeah, and see if it was just like a maintenance thing where, he had a lot of carries.
Yeah.
So, with that foot maybe gets sore with that much work. So we'll have to keep an eye on it, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Where do you want to go now?
Oh, let's no lineup needed. Against.
Oh yeah.
And I'm starting to feel bad about this because.
Yeah, no lineup needed takes on Dumpster Fire. Dumpster Fire does the job this week. No lineup needed does the job better. No lineup needed wins 142-121. Jordan threw out a thing in the text about Christian as basically, give me a break. I'm going to go over 100 finally, which is it's a little self-deprecating, but 142-121. Yeah. I thought with Mixon and Cooper going into that game, they needed 50 points. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but that was hoping for against all odds there. No lineup needed is now sitting alone at the top spot, 6-2. This is our first place team.
Yeah, and they're scoring like a first place team.
Absolutely.
I mean, getting Pollard and knowing, he looked great, and knowing he was going to get the majority of carries, but you got Tyreek Hill on a nice week. I give him credit. Somehow he gets serviceable amount of points out of Andy Dalton, which is amazing to me.
Yeah, plugs in Andy Dalton and gets 19 points, which keeps them in this. Like if they have a real shutdown at any of these positions, they don't win this game. Dumpster Fire finally gets double digits from the majority of their lineup until they go down the bottom, which is what you expect. Again, doing the job with 121 and just falling short. 2 wins out of 8. heading into, what do we have now? We have 6 games left in the season.
Yeah.
It is looking dire for dumpster
It
fire.
is dire. I mean, I honestly, when I saw DeAndre Swift was going to play, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
maybe, right?
Yeah.
But then I got a question. You picked Daniel Jones to start.
So Daniel Jones was the NFC
No,
Offensive Player of the Week last week, and then they go into Seattle. I don't know what happened. It was what a disaster.
I'm not gonna be critical.
Hey, we're live. You're a live dog.
This is code to his buddies.
That's
in Denver,
right. He's like, hey, I get you, dumpster fire. Don't you let them say anything bad to you. Yeah. Right.
But I will defend him, because even I said last week, I thought maybe we're going to see Daniel Jones start having fantasy relevancy because of what he did the week before. So that was unfortunate.
Yep, and he's got points on the bench. The team did well, so we'll see what happens going forward. A lot of weird things can happen with teams. I have not been keeping up on the chat. Boston Beans is
Tua.
they're touting the Tua, so it's we got a lot. Let's talk about that.
We might as well go to that game. Boy, he had a lot to say.
Yeah, this is premature, but I like it.
Yeah.
We need to get the dog out. Let's hold on 1 second, just so that I feel better about myself with my ability to overcome this dog situation. And I'm gonna.
I like the 2 ears that are just showing up.
There's only 2 ears. It's pretty good. But this is without a doubt the shootout of the week. Denver. And so as we have the graphic going, what we're talking about is Whopper Moppers taking on Boston Beans. I threw out in the chat thread, it was the game of the week. It looked even early on. Whopper Moppers started to pull ahead going later into the games, and then the Beans staged a comeback that fell just short. Whopper Moppers moves to 4-4 with a 158-152 victory in the shootout of the week and the shootout of the year.
Yep.
And Boston Beans falls to 5-3. Walt, this game for you, exciting.
It was. Now look, wow, talk about the opposite end of the spectrum. He's started getting some guys get healthy. Dak is there, 27 points. You see McCaffrey, who was healthy, but look at him, put him in an offense that looked like you're going to use him every week. Oh, yeah, like unbelievable. A.J. Brown, 40 points. So it was a really, really good week. Now you look at the Moppers and you say, wow, okay, we had a lot of concern, but now with all this and McCaffrey, wow, they're looking really good now for a starting lineup. But, of course, the Beans, 152 points. You're going to beat a lot of people.
Know.
So
what a heartbreak.
Yeah, it is.
When you put up 152 points and lose, that's terrible for fantasy. Although Ant is still the number one, in his mind, eyes. Still the number one team in BARFF in his eyes. Boy, that's what is this long comment? For when you get to the Beans game, no comment, no complaints from the Beans. Would have outscored everyone else in the league. Truth, the person that he played. Same thing happened on the other loss. High-scoring powerhouse. He is feeling confident, but he comes up with a loss, and he relinquishes for the first time in some time any claim on first, as no lineup is now our sole possessor of first place.
I got to tell you, if I were him, I wouldn't be worried either. I don't know when the last time the number one seed went all the way and won.
It's hard.
It's been a long time.
And this week in particular, he was betrayed. I don't know what happened in Las Vegas. Nothing.
Great point.
Absolutely nothing. Josh McDaniels, stop trying to coach a team.
Yep.
He gets 8 points combined out of Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams. What is that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, how could you ever conceive that you would get that?
No, that's terrible.
Yeah,
24-0 loss.
I know. It's
against New Orleans.
Absolutely.
That's terrible. So I would not expect that to happen again going forward. They may have to fire some people like Josh McDaniels, but that team should not be getting shut out 24-0 by New Orleans.
Exactly.
Nope.
And the one thing, too, with the Beans, they're one of the teams that actually you look at the bench and you say, wow, the bench ain't bad either. He has Najee sitting there, Kittle, Judy, Sanders, Boyd would chase out.
There are 3 weeks this year that his bench would have outscored my team, my starting team this week.
So it's crazy, right?
Crazy.
Yeah, it really is. And And of course, the Moppers, man, with Claypool being traded, I don't know if going to Chicago is a good thing or a bad thing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think about, like, you're sitting in your hotel room and you're like, well, I play for the Steelers and now I'm going to the Bears. Am I excited? Am I, like, I'm going from, I don't even know who's playing Q in Pittsburgh right now on any consistent basis. Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
I'm going from Kenny Pickett and I'm going to Justin Fields, who sometimes throws 10 times a game.
Oh, yeah, and he rushes 20 times a game.
Right.
So,
It's hard.
Yeah,
Like, what a
hard.
talent for that guy.
I totally
I
agree.
hope that the Bears can utilize him better than the Steelers did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that was what a great week of games. That Whopper Moppers and Boston Beans game I was following throughout the weekend. It was pretty amazing. We had some teams blow up, and now we're well past the halfway point, Walt, and we're looking for playoff time. Let's look at next week. Let's jump ahead to next week because we could probably bomb screen or pass or bomb screen or punt everyone's lineup at this point. We're kind of deep. I mean, we can, but let's look at next week first.
Okay.
And see what games as we head into this. The teams at the bottom right now, Dumpster Fire and Knuckleheads with 2 wins. It's dire, but there are 3 and 4 team weeks in there, so it's not good, but it's not impossible. We have had years where we've had 9 teams in play going into the last week.
Yep.
This turnaround at the top is what excites me. And then when you look at the games that we have this week, you've got Knuckleheads with 2 wins taking on Whopper Moppers, Rifle with 4 wins taking on you, Born to Run with 4 to 5 wins, Worst Team Ever 3 wins, and Dumpster Fire 2 wins. This is a must win for one of these games.
Oh, yeah.
Huey Lewis with 5 wins taking on the Beans with 5 wins, potentially a first place game.
Yep.
And the Sody Pantloads looking to not slide, looking to continue to rise. And will they knock off No Lineup Needed? I don't even know where to look right now.
I mean, I'll just go down the line. We'll go to my game against
the Rifle.
Worst.
5 and 3, Born to Run 4 to 4. Springfield Rifle. Rifle had some momentum. That they're sitting in 7th place, probably the strongest 7th place team that I've seen in some time. Do you feel how do you feel this game is going to go this week?
Okay, so wait a minute. Up to the top for me. Yeah, you jumped a week.
Oh, am I week 10?
Yes, you're week 9.
Hold on. I totally screwed that up.
There we go.
Hold
One
on.
more. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know my schedule though.
Yeah. Good for you.
'Cause I'm like,
Oh no.
yeah.
This is
Family Feud.
so skip this. This is Dumpster Fire Knuckleheads and a Civil War 2 win teams going at it. Run.
This is Family Feud week.
This is
You got
absolutely
3
Family
games.
Feud week.
Yep.
This is amazing.
It is.
Dumpster Fire Knuckleheads, Born to Run, Worst Team Ever, Springfield Rifle, and Huey Lewis.
Right.
Beans fighting it out with the Pantloads.
It's almost the same thing there.
This is amazing.
It is amazing.
Forget the last 90 seconds of the show, people. I had the wrong week up on our monitor. And Walt, what game do you want to talk about for next week?
Yeah, we'll start with me with Tyler, Worst Team Ever.
Born to Run takes on at 5 and 3, sitting in 3rd place. Worst Team Ever 3 and 5 after their setback to the Knuckleheads in 8th place at 3 and 5. How do you see this game going?
Well, I think that Jonathan Taylor is going to be really tough to deal with if that's the case, because Worst Team Ever has then got to figure out who's going to be the guy. I mean, again, I don't know. Zach Moss, do you put your faith, try to pick him up, or do you go with the backup? So I think he's got some things to deal with for sure. I mean, Burrow, coming off a tough game, he'll probably be fine. But I just look. It's tough. I mean, last week you got Lazard. He had Darrell Henderson in there. I mean, I don't know. I'm feeling Worst Team Ever could be up against it. And again, I look at my matchups. I think they're fairly decent. Godwin, Jefferson, Washington. And again, I don't know Mark Andrews. I got to get him healthy, but. Yeah, I think it'll be close, though.
It's a good matchup with New Orleans. He's scheduled to go 15. You got to get some players in and out of that lineup. Yep. I, 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 I look at if Jonathan Taylor is truly dinged up, when you had AJ Dillon and Darrell Henderson. I mean, clearly he doesn't have Saquon available.
Yep, bye on him.
This is probably. So coming into this week, this is probably the week that you want to play worst team ever.
No doubt. I mean, look who's on a bye. Barkley, CD.
Yeah.
I mean, Deontay, whatever. He's not been. But, yeah, I think, yeah.
Will he plug in Nyheim Hines? This is the question of the week for worst team ever.
Is he around?
He's
Is he available?
He is available. He is playing. They're playing the Jets. If you are the Buffalo Bills and you are going to unleash your new weapon in Nyheim Hines, you might just do it this week.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely consider doing it this week for sure. So yeah, so like you said, I like my chances. Tough week for Tyler with all those guys going on and by, but we all have to face it. So he'll take his lumps maybe this week.
Absolutely. What's the next game we're going?
So let's go with the other family matchup, the Rifle against Huey.
This is going to be a great game. This is
I think
already
so.
My game of the week.
Yep.
Huey Lewis at 5-3, sitting in 4th place. Springfield Rifle 4-4 in 7th place. Civil War game. Neither one of these teams looks too crazy affected by buys.
No, not really. Yeah.
So they're going to go head to head, and we'll see. This has huge implications. If the Rifle goes 5-4, dropping Huey Lewis to 5-4, that could cause quite a glut in the middle, which is exactly where teams like mine want to see.
Yeah. So I think the Rifle's chance is really going to rely on Derrick Henry. I see all of a sudden now he's got a questionable by him. So that's big. I'd say if he loses Derrick Henry, I just don't see how he beats Huey Lewis in the news.
Yeah, this is tough. Is this the week also? Let's see. Antonio Gibson has been coming on. I don't see Edwards-Helaire for Huey Lewis making it, but Antonio Gibson's been coming on lately. Do they crack a lineup that has Kamara's going to stay in, but Deonta Foreman had a big week last week, and then they've got Gabe Davis as the flex. Might Antonio Gibson find his way into this lineup?
I don't think so. I think you stick with the guys that are hot. I mean, I know Gabriel Davis didn't do anything, but I mean, he's one of those guys. It's kind of feast or famine. So against the Jets, I think you roll the dice and it says he'll have at least one long touchdown. So
I feel in this game you've got to play a Davis.
Yeah,
so
I
there's
agree.
only good luck going in there.
Exactly.
Let's look at a pseudo Civil War game. Let's look at Boston Beans and Sony Panthers.
Wow.
This is already, and it's Wednesday. We don't know who's getting what on the waiver wire, who's doing what with their lineup, but it is already projected 130 to 127, super close. The Beans projected to go on top, 130 to 127. This is for Sody Pantloads. This is a game to regain what they would see as where they want to be. How do you see this game going?
So I was thinking, wow, that's a tough loss, Chubb on bye for the Beans, but. You know who's given up the most rushing yards to fantasy running backs?
Could it be the Houston Texans?
It is the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
So you never know. Now that could translate to Jalen Hurts, not Sanders. So, but
truth.
But he happens to have Jalen Hurts too. So somebody there is going to have a lot of points out of those two guys. I guarantee it. Devontae, against Jacksonville, you would think that's a good matchup. He's got a Q near him, but I don't know what that means. So, I mean, the Beans, even with the buys, I think are really in good shape. But flip on the other side. I mean, Diggs against the Jets, Devontae Smith against Houston. Nice. Kelsey gets back in the lineup. He's always done well against Tennessee.
True.
So, I really think this might be the closest game of the week when it comes down to it.
I'm really all about that Huey Lewis and the Rifle game, but this game also, this is gonna be such a great week, such a better week than I described earlier.
Yeah,
week 10.
And you gotta be worried about Seattle too, containing Kyler Murray. But Seattle, I don't know, they're one of those teams. Their defense looked pretty good last week.
They looked great last week against the Giants. Giants are not multi-dimensional, but we'll see what Kyler Murray can do this week. He's got to break out at some point. Great game. This could be the shootout.
Yeah.
If I like the Rifle and Huey Lewis as like the game because of the storyline, especially your game also, but this game,
Yeah,
Beans
no,
and Antlers might be
definitely.
the shootout for sure.
Yeah, one of them's the entree, one's the main course. I don't know,
Absolutely.
but yeah, it's hard to argue which one it'll be.
Absolutely. Let's look at our newly crowned number one team. No lineup needed. Sole possession of first place taking on Whopper Moppers. How do you see this game? No lineup needed. It's pulling in at 6-2. Whopper Moppers at 4-4.
Ah, man, just I feel bad for the Moppers that they're gonna have McCaffrey go on a bye. So 2 weeks ago he didn't play much because of the not knowing the playbook and everything. That's rough. It's unfortunate. I think if they would have had full strength, this game might be closer. But no lineup. They got Mahomes back in, Eckler. Keenan Allen, I don't know if he's going to play, but Hawkinson on Minnesota, that's not too shabby.
Yeah, he's going to try. They're going to try to work him in.
I mean, they got it, right?
They have to do that.
That's the way I look at it.
Tyreek blew up last week.
Yeah, so I think no lineup needed. It's going to probably win. I don't see it being that close just for those reasons. Unfortunately.
Yeah, there are some definitely issues going on here. Mostert, I'm not sure whether they're going to try to work Jeff Wilson Jr. more in there. Might that eat into his carries? But we'll see. It's a tough week coming in for Whopper Moppers, as you said, with the players on the bye. But they also, they took out the former number one team last week, and so we'll see if they can keep this going.
But yeah, it's too bad. Another bad is that of course
number
Prescott,
one to number one.
Yeah, and then Prescott. Now they go back to Carr again, and so. But
although if any team is motivated to put up points,
right,
it's got to be that Las Vegas team.
Exactly. And I heard a rumor maybe Cordell Patterson gets activated.
That would be amazing.
So that would be
for
very
this
helpful.
Team,
Yeah,
going
for
into
sure.
the back half of the season, absolutely. The other Civil War game this week, Dumpster Fire takes on Knuckleheads at the bottom of the battle of the bottom. 2-6 teams, 10th and 9th, facing off against one another. Projected close. Does any of these teams have a chance to win, or might this be a tie or a loss for both?
I think somebody's got to win. I think
it's got to win.
Actually, you look at it. The person that wins goes to 3-6. Mm-hmm. 3-6. It's weird how one game.
It would be 3-6 with 5 games left, and you need roughly 6.
Right. So you think, okay, there's a game you could lose down the road, but go to 2-7. I don't know.
You're done. You're done. I've been saying I'm done for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I didn't win for a month. So I was really just happy to get this second win. I don't know.
So this is it. This is like a playoff game.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's whoever wins, I'd say, hey, don't count them out. You never know.
Yep.
They could string, 4 more wins, or even like you said, 3, and sneak in on that spot. So it's going to be a good game. I think you guys are evenly matched. Let's see. Oh, man. This could be another super close scoring game. I think somehow, I don't know why, the Dumpster Fire finds a way to win.
Dumpster Fire comes out from the 10th place to take this one. I'm going to agree with you. I think DeAndre Swift is due to do something. Mixon,
you would think,
is better than this, and Justin Herbert could play up to his potential.
Yeah, McLaurin's been better since.
Heineke has raised McLaurin's
for
level.
sure.
Yeah. And so I'm rooting for Dumpster Fire in this matchup. Knuckleheads had a great week last week, and I'm happy for it. It's nice to win. It's much more fun when you have a chance.
It's nice to finally get one step up out of the basement, right?
Yes.
So
yeah, I'll enjoy this place this week in 9th. It's great to be up here. The air is different, and then I'll sink back
we'll see if you go right back to it. Yeah,
because that could certainly happen. Let's do. What do we want to do now? So we could do bomb screen or punt, but let's do a little bit of a different variation of it as we close out the show. Let's do. Let's go to the standings.
Yeah, that's where I was actually. I'm looking at them.
Let's look at the standings and and I'm making this up as I go along. Let's do a little bomb screen or punt. And I'm gonna throw these to you, Walt. I'm gonna let you take the heat on these.
Okay.
All right. Bomb screen or punt. No lineup needed. Boston Beans and Born to Run. Those are your choices. Bomb, screen, or punt.
I mean, bomb on the beams.
Bomb and the beans.
I think, between me, so.
This
man.
is rough. You're
Yeah.
on the
So do
spot
I
here.
have to? Is this like?
This is a bomb, screen, or punt.
So I gotta punt. Okay.
Someone's got a punt.
So I don't like my injury situation. Andrews is banged up.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm gonna see Chase. So I guess I'm gonna punt me,
All right.
and we'll screen no lineup
Screen
and
no
bomb the beams.
Bomb
I
in
told
the
you
beams.
beams. I'm all gassed up on the beams. I love the beams.
That was a little bit unfair because those are the top 3 teams, including your team. Let's go bomb.
It's gonna get easier, I can tell you, as this goes.
Let's go bomb, screen, or punt. Huey Lewis in the news. Sody pant loads. Whopper moppers.
Okay, so this one's pretty easy for me. I think the upcoming team's Huey, so we're gonna bomb on Huey Lewis in the news for now. We'll screen the pant loads, can never count them out. And unfortunately, the moppers, you got to kick them to the curb. They
could have a tough week.
They could have a tough week. They're gonna go. So yeah, they get the old boot. Unfortunately, for the moppers.
All right, now we're gonna go bomb, screen, or punt. Springfield Rifle, worst team ever, and dumpster fire.
Okay, so oh boy, I'm gonna bomb on the Rifle. I'm gonna punt worst team ever because I don't like where they're at now.
That was a tough week last week.
And again, this is all me thinking that Jonathan Taylor aggravated his ankle. So it's because of that. I'm punting on them, and we'll screen the dumpster fire.
Screen and dumpster fire.
I don't know why, but why not? Let's see.
All right, and we're gonna play punt, or punt on the Knuckleheads. They have an 8% chance of making the playoffs. I know I'm punting them. Spoiler mode for the last 3 weeks. And
it is interesting that if you're 2-6, you get an 8% chance of making the playoffs.
I was thinking that maybe once Cam Akers got traded to Buffalo, I would have some hope. And now Cam Akers
just doesn't want to play.
He just doesn't want to play football.
Yeah.
So that's my 3rd round draft pick. People doesn't want to play football. Very good.
I want to see all these shows that profess themselves to be experts in fantasy that had you better take Cam Akers in the 3rd round or whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
not good.
Cam Akers is garbage.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's no good, and now and I don't know, what could he have done?
Yeah.
He had to have done something, not just this, he doesn't practice well. They were actively trading him and then asking too much for him.
Yep.
And now they're just going to hold on to him. This is keeping a player in purgatory. They could have unloaded him to someone over the last couple of days. But he must have done something to somebody. I don't know.
I don't either. It's so bizarre how that has played out this year. Because, at the end of last year in the playoffs, whatever, it was Cam Akers. So,
what does that say to what does that do also to Darrell Henderson and those other running backs in the room? Are you going to bring this guy that's been sitting out for 2 weeks actually back in the room? And are you going to give him carries? What a disaster. Good job, Sean McVay.
Yeah, what's the statement? What's that making, right? If you get a guy that's not committed and all of a sudden he walks away, but then you kind of, give him the lion's share of carries. Yeah.
They're handling this about as well as the Patriots are handling their quarterback.
Yeah, with the exactly.
Yeah, way to go, people.
Yeah, I don't know. It's unfortunate. It's, it's tough when you get a guy and you did draft him in that round and just completely get. It's not because of injury. It's just a bust.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate bust.
Yeah, I agree.
Unfortunately.
I agree. So that was our bit for this week. I got to come up with something better for next week. I can tell you the grading was as well received as I had hoped, but we knew that was going to be a little rough. I still think that was a super fun segment, and so we have avoided. I think we've avoided this phrase for the last couple weeks. Playoff implications. I keep, as I've made statements in prior weeks, I realize that I keep thinking that we're still on a 13-game season.
Oh, no.
But we're not. We still have the 14 games.
Right.
So we have 6 games left in the regular season. 8 are down the tubes. We're well past the halfway point. So probably mathematically everyone is alive right now. And so, this is going to be a great game of BARFF, a great week of BARFF games. I think we'll be talking about a little bit of a clearer, as much fun as these Civil War games will be, we're going to have a clearer picture. There are going to be some teams that are scrambling and some teams that are, positioning themselves.
Oh yeah, I absolutely. This week is definitely going to add some clarity to where we are as far as playoff picture goes. I mean, we can almost start, doing some projection, looking at schedules to see who's matched up against who and see how that's going to go. So I do think that this week will provide a lot of that clarity of where we're at. I mean, like you said, we'll be down to 5 games from that point on.
Yeah, 5 games. So we'll start. Maybe we'll start playing a little Watson. Maybe we'll start playing our own percentages next week for who can.
Oh yeah. That's a good call. I'm happy to crap on some teams and say they have no chance of making it.
We'll be doing percentages next week rather than grades. So that'll be pretty fun.
I like that.
And we can adjust it for the last 5 the last 5 weeks.
All right.
That's
Well, look at I like it.
All right, I want to thank Ant to come on to tout his team and give support for his own team as he came on. He was the only guest that we had. Again, the show works better when we have some sort of participation from everybody else. So as we head into next week, let's get somebody sitting in the studio. Let's get some calls going and let's get the chat.
Let's get going, boys.
Yeah, it's crunch time in BARFF.
That's right.
If you're not thinking about BARFF right now, it's too late. So let's go for next week.
I know the owner of the Whopper Moppers was busy. It was kind of a hazmat situation. They were doing some cleaning of their new HQ.
Oh boy.
Oh
boy.
Yeah, his hands were full. I heard he had a toothbrush out.
Windex and paper towels.
And Ajax. So.
All right. Thank you for being a great co-host as always, Walt.
Yeah, it was great.
We'll see you next week.
All right. Good luck, everyone.
All right. Good luck to all.